Hi everyone, it's so great to have you with me today. So, as you know, I've been doing some pieces where I've been layering some puddles on a canvas, swiping through with some Australian Floetrol to create some lacing and create that balance of block colour and lacing. But I thought, what about if I do that, but then I also drop a marble on top and tilt the canvas into a design before I completely stretch it out. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to do the puddle pause, I'm going to do the swipe, and then I'm going to add a marble to the design, stretch it out and see what kind of pattern it makes on top. So I'm excited for this. I'm going to use just 3 colours. So I'm going to do a monochrome toned piece. I'm going to do black, white and grey. I'm excited for this. Let's see if it works. Let's see what we can create. Okay, so I've painted my edges. I've got my marble ready. I've mixed my colours, so I've got black, white and grey. My swipe colour is white with Floetrol. Just making sure that all my paints are the right consistency with no lumps, because I've literally just mixed them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to puddle those colours onto the canvas and use my marble. So let's start with the puddling, just in a random kind of way. I'm almost thinking about the colours that I would really like to remain on the canvas and what kind of composition that I'm aiming for. So I want a good balance of block colour. The whole point of this technique is to balance that block colour and the lacing. So when you're doing this kind of technique and you're thinking about which way you're going to tilt the canvas and the paint's going to go off the edges, what's going to remain in the middle, it's almost kind of stepping back and thinking about that composition before it happens. It's really difficult to obviously predict. However, if you want a certain colour block or a certain kind of pattern to remain on your canvas, just think about when you're tilting off the sides, what's in the middle of your design. Because it's unlikely that you're going to tilt everything off that you've created in the middle. You're more likely to tilt off what you've done around the sides, just to get that balance and that overall composition. So now for the second part of this technique, which is the swipe. So I've prepared my swipe mixture, which is Australian Floetrol mixed with titanium Amsterdam white. I'm going to get a little bit of it on my palette knife and I'm literally just going to swipe all the way across. And when you swipe, just hover your palette knife on the top of the paint and gently push across. Don't press down too hard. Just let that paint glide across the surface. And again, just lightly on top, let the paint glide across the other paint and then release your palette knife. And that's when the magic starts. You can see all those cells and that lacing forming. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. Now it's the marble. I've used the marble before, but not in this kind of combination with the puddles and the swipe. So I've placed my marble down. I'm going to pick up my canvas and I'm going to take my time. I'm going to slowly move that marble across the painting. I'm taking my time because I really want to kind of see what kind of design it creates. I'm not going to rush this. The marble is, it's a fairly small size. It's kind of good for the size canvas I'm using. But I'm able to control that marble a little bit better because the paint mixture is fairly thick. And as you can see, I'm just tilting slowly. It's helping me just move that marble across the base as I'm doing it. And I don't want to overdo this, so I think I'm going to let it go because I really like the design that I've created on the base. I don't want to overwork the base. I do not want to overwork the design that I'm creating. So let's push that off. So I've got a design that I'm happy with, and now the part where I'm going to stretch out that design and tilt the paint off the sides I don't really want to remain on the surface. So this part is about looking at the pattern that you're creating on that canvas, the composition that you want to achieve. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one corner off at a time, and I will stop and step back and reassess the design that I've got on that canvas. And there's no rush. Don't feel a rush to do a design. The consistency of the paint on the canvas means I can take my time. I'm not having to think about how quickly or slowly I'm tipping that paint because it's a fairly thick consistency, which means it's going to take a little bit of time to move across the base of the canvas. Where there is no puddles, it's a dry canvas. There's no other kind of paint on that canvas to help that paint move. So if you want to control your paint more, once you've puddled, don't worry about filling in paint on the dry bits because that will help slow down that process of you tilting. And really, this bit takes as long as it takes because you're creating a pattern and design on top that you're happy with. So once you've tilted out to each corner and each side, it's then thinking about the overall design. So don't be scared to pick it up again and move it a little bit. So I'm just going to finish off this corner. I really like how I've managed to keep some block colour, so the areas of grey, black and white, and I love where I tilted that marble off and there's a very faint line going all the way down the middle to the edge. But I'll take you in for a closer look once I'm happy with my composition. Okay, so let's go in for a close-up of the wet version. Okay, I'm loving this, and I'm already thinking about the colours that I'm going to do next time because this is not going to be the only one I do with that technique of the puddles, the swipe and the marble. As I said, I really love the block colour and the lacing and the balance I've created with both of those kind of designs. I'm now thinking, what way up do I like it best? So I'll show you a couple of ways, but I think maybe this way? No, maybe the other way. I don't know. I'm really torn because I actually really like the design that it's created. So here we go. It's dried. It's not varnished yet. I will apply a gloss varnish on top. It's just going to be a spray varnish. But I look at those details. I love that lacing there. I love the lines there and then the block colour. So it's a really great piece and I've really enjoyed doing this. And as I said, I've already thought about the colours that I'm going to do next time. So watch out for another creation using this same technique but with a different colour palette. I really enjoyed this, guys. I hope you have too. If you do it yourself, then tag me in your photos and let me see what you create. Thank you so much again for all of your support, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Take care, everyone. Bye.